In today's video, I'm going to show you an install of American Standard's R900 Universal Roman Tub rough-in body. This is the 3-piece rough. There is also the 4-piece with the handheld. Here's a quick look of the typical rough-in kit. It comes with the spout shank and the 2 side valve bodies. What's really neat about it is it comes with the flexible 12-inch hose, which allows you to vary the widths on your install. So from 8 inches to 12 inches is kind of what they're thinking. I really like the feature for the ability to do creative installs. So putting them on a 45-degree angle, or having the valve bodies over here and the tub filler spout over here. Kind of what I'm going to show you guys upstairs on my tub decks. This is where those flex hoses come in handy, because this would be really tough to pipe in if you didn't have flexible hoses. So while I'm doing the install, I'll list off the numerous other features of the R900. This is a 1/2-inch plywood template with the 1 3/8 holes. I will use this to make sure my holes are in the right spot. Once happy with placement of the template, I will remove the arbor from the 1 3/8 hole saw, place in the template holes upside down, and mark the center with a felt pen. Mark all 3 holes, then use a 3/16 drill bit to line up perfect with the marks. I like the pilot hole because I want my hole saw to stay exactly there when I'm drilling the 1 3/8 hole. Once pilot holes are complete, I will drill the 3 1 3/8 holes through the tub deck. I find that pilot holes keep the hole saw from moving or skipping off. Hold drill firm and go slow, making sure not to have any imperfections outside the 1 3/8 area. The handles and spout fit very tight to the 1 3/8 diameter and will not hide imperfections. The 3 holes are complete now. It's time to address connecting the water lines to the valve bodies. When connecting the PEX water line supplies to the valve bodies, there is a few options. You can solder a sweat fitting to convert to PEX, recommended only if you know how to solder. Option 2 is to use push fittings. Push fittings are quite easy to use, but cost more. They are quite reliable. Just follow all manufacturer's instructions when installing. I start by cleaning the pipe and making sure there is no burrs or imperfections on the pipe. On the hot valve body, I will remove the indicator sticker and I mark the valve with an H, so when I install the valve bodies, they are on the right sides. The 1/2-inch to 1/2-inch push fitting coupler is designed to have the pipe pushed into the coupler 15/16 of an inch. Mark indicator lines to ensure proper amount of pipe is inserted. There is different depths on different push fittings, so always check the manufacturer's specifications. The 15/16 indicator line is on the stem, and it's time to push the connector onto the stem up to the line. All right, now I've got my push connects on my valve bodies, and I'm ready to do the install into the holes that I've got drilled on the tub deck. Whichever type of tub deck you're installing in, they want you to have this edge just below the flush with the surface. So in my case, I got to use the spacer because I'm going right to a tub deck, which is very thin. But if you were mounting in up to the 2.5 inches that this valve allows you to, then you might reduce this all the way down. But the end result is you want this just below flush of your finished surface. So slide this up underneath. I don't think it really matters which way it goes. It does matter hot and cold. People like the hot on the left, the cold on the right. But this shank, I'm just gonna put right dead center so that I can get that perfect coil on my flex hoses. That's perfect. Now, I'll tighten this other ring. One thing with these holes, if I was going into something wood that I would put a couple screws, but because I can't, I've got a little sealant right on the inside edge to hold this, and I'm gonna really make sure I've got this tight. And to tighten, I'm just gonna use these channel locks very gently and make sure that I'm super tight and that this can't move. All right, nice and firm. Now, when I took the tape off the hot, I did mark an H on it so that I remember. I'm gonna put the cold one in on this further side first. Note, use instructions to determine if you use the small or large locking nut. It varies between types of tub fillers. Now try to finish with this where you need it to be. You're out from your valve body. So in my case, I have these two pointing over here. I'm gonna put mine just at a little offset just like that. All right, that's the finish for the top part here for the rough-in. When I come in to put the finish on, these caps pop off and everything goes in, which I'll show you here right after. I'm gonna bring you in behind here and show you how to mark the water lines to get them to go into the push fittings. I like to mark that 15/16 line just back to make sure that I'm getting them into the right depth. And then I'll turn the water on and test everything with the test plug in. I just turned off the water to the house. When cutting the caps off the PEX lines, have a pail ready to catch the water. Mark PEX lines 15/16 and insert into push fittings up to the indicator line. Then I move to the hot water feed and do the same. Once the water lines are connected, I will start installing the flex lines to complete the install. Tighten hoses firmly with a 24mm wrench. All right, that just about wraps up the install of the rough-in. If I'm gonna turn the water on to test anything, I'm gonna put this cap in here, just secure everything down. One thing I noticed, you wanna make sure these are shut off so you can turn them this way to turn them on. Make sure they're pushed all the way back that way and that way to not have water shoot out. Here is a quick look at the Colony tub filler I will install. The Flash deck mount tub system works with all American Standard tub fillers. Just determine 3-hole or 4. Thanks for watching. View all the American Standard installation videos in the American Standard Installation Series Cabin Build playlist. The next few videos are in this Bedroom 1 ensuite and wet bar. Follow along as I prepare the rough-in.